that missed it tonight. So we'll hit record. I'm going to make it really fast. I always say this. Kristen probably hears me say this a million times. I'm going to make it really fast. Okay, so I just wanted to review what we learned this week and then give you all an opportunity to kind of ask questions. So I'm going to run through what we've already went over, and we still have a whole, well, not really a whole week. There's another 5 days of information. So the last day, I think it will be on Friday. And you always have the opportunity to repeat. I usually only do the phase 2 part of training once a month because so many do like to repeat that go through it the first time. But phase 2 training won't be until December because I just started phase 2 this past time when you guys started. Okay, so day 1 was your new coach announcement. And so I think that gave you a lot of really good ideas of what you want to do. I know that Savannah, you had sent me kind of a little something of what you were wanting to do. And Bree, had you done your new coach announcement yet?
Yeah, I did.
Yay! How did everything go?
It was fine. I didn't heard anything from anyone, but the post was good.
That's good. Well, and that was one reason I always like Brooke's video of like, don't freak out if you don't get like a huge reaction from it, because this is kind of like your first coming out of, hey, I'm a coach, this is what I'm doing. And then from there, that's where you want to kind of start your whole process of planting seeds and kind of breadcrumbing what we do as coaches. So you don't want to just do your new coach announcement and then run and hide and don't post anything again. You always want to kind of start breadcrumbing from there a little bit about what you're doing. Okay, so do you guys have any questions about the new coach announcement? No? Good. All right. All right, so day 2 was Facebook facelift. And my coach, Brooke, actually did a fantastic video on going through your Facebook and just kind of cleaning it up. So I always use her video, and I feel like it's pretty descriptive of what you need to be doing on your social media to really have a nice social media presence as a coach. I always touch base every mid-training call where we talk about public versus private, because this was an issue for me, and I think for most of us that have kids, your concern is always that public versus private. And so I always tell everybody this is what I did. So what I did is my page was private at first, and anything that I posted of Reese, I didn't really feel like people needed to see. And so when I started learning more about coaching and learning that coaching is not about the brand or the product, Beachbody the product, it was more about branding myself. And why will people come to me instead of choosing Amazon or going to beachbody.com? Like, why do they come to me for questions? They have to build trust. So when I thought about what my brand was a mom that wanted to be a role model, that got my little girl involved with working out and eating clean and teaching her how to cook and really making her a part of what I do. So as I started to learn more about myself and the people that I wanted to attract, when they came to my page, I wanted them to see that that was the kind of person I was. So I did change my page over to public. But what I do is you can go back and forth between your posts. So if I do a post that is Cash rolled over, I did it this week. I did a post about him rolling over, or about Reese's first day at preschool, or about them at Halloween. Like anything that doesn't really have anything to do with my brand of being a role model through health and fitness, I go ahead and set it to private, or not private, but like friends only. And then anything, say if Reese and I are working out together, or we're cooking together, or I've even had her doing a live video with me before because she's always very entertaining. But if it has to do with my health and fitness part, then I do make that public because that's part of my brand, and that's what those are the people I want to attract. I want to attract people like me. And so I want them to be able to come to my page and see that that's what's important to me. Now, having to see my kids' Halloween pictures or their mom's day at preschool or cash rolled over or whatever, that doesn't really have anything to do with my brand. That's more my personal life. And so I just make that stuff friends only. So I do go back and forth. That's my comfort level. Some coaches just make it all public. Some coaches say I'm not there yet. I make it all private. I think that's totally up to you. But I will say that I have gained challengers and I have gained followers by making my page public and doing that. And I've attracted people that are like me. Too. And these are people that weren't my friends. And if they were my friends, they wouldn't have seen any of these posts. It would have been very private. Do you guys have any questions about day 2 on the Facebook facelift?
No.
Okay. You guys are so easy. Okay. So day 3, we talked about Success Club points. Does everybody feel like you got a good understanding of how you earn Success Club points? Okay. Bree, do you feel like you got a pretty good grip on that?
Yes.
Okay. It's pretty easy. If you have any questions, I always have people though that ask me, do I get Success Club points for fitness programs only? You don't. So it's challenge packs. It's fitness programs combined with, or anymore, it's more than fitness programs. You can get the 3-day refresh. You can get Beachbody on demand, as long as it's in a bundled package with Shakeology or the performance line, what we call challenge packs. Those are 2 points. And anybody who gets a new order of just Shakeology on Home Direct, that's 1 point. So that's where those points come from. And with Success Club, as a coach, to know that we're moving our business forward, we always strive to hit Success Club 5. Which is typically going to give you about 3 challenge packs, or it can be another combination. It could be 2 challenge packs and 1 person buys Shakeology HD, whatever. It ends up adding up to being 5 points. And typically with Beachbody, the cool thing is that each month they give you a prize. Normally they give you a prize. So this month, if you are a part of our Team Spirit, which I don't know if you ladies joined us too late to be a part of Team Spirit. I know Savannah, I think that you did, because it ended October 31st, where you had to be signed up on a Team Spirit team, but they're giving away Quarter Force tank tops to everybody that hit Success Club 5. But I haven't announced it to the team yet. I am personally giving everybody a Success Club prize too, which is going to be a team shirt. And I have, Kristen, I have our logo trademarked, and I have something totally different that we're kind of doing compared to our old team shirts. So I'm really excited about it. So I'll post about that soon. So you guys haven't missed the opportunity to still earn a Success Club prize, but you'll be earning it from me instead of Beachbody. Okay. So we always try to help you guys kind of move your business forward, and that's usually the goal that you want to try to hit, that you know that your business is growing and is becoming profitable. Beachbody says you're helping at least 3 people a month, okay? And by helping, I mean getting them committed and started with a fitness program and with Shakeology. Okay, day 4, we talked about inviting. So this is the number 1 way that I built my business. When my coach told me that we're doing a challenge group and I can invite people, I literally went out and invited people and asked them to do this with me. I was so lost. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I had never done challenge group before. I had not completed my fitness program yet. I had just got it and just started doing it. I was just all over the place, but I was inviting people that I worked with, inviting close family. That's where I kind of started with. And that's the people I got on board. My first month was family members, girls that I work with, people I used to work with. And so that's where I kind of got my start. So from there, I started to eventually start doing what I call cold invites. And I only suggest cold invites to people that you know, and that is your friends, that I consider your warm market. You never want to randomly invite somebody that you don't really know that well. You always want to build a relationship with them first. So I think on day 4, I gave you guys kind of some ideas of what I did as far as inviting goes. Do you all have any questions on inviting? This is always the scariest part for coaches. Everybody's always like, I don't want to invite yet. Do you guys have any fears or feeling anxious about it, or? Okay. All right. So we're all excited to invite, right? Hey, Kristen, when does your challenge group start?
Tomorrow.
Are you prep week? So you're the same dates as mine? Okay.
Yeah.
So what I typically tell everybody is, yeah, prep week does start tomorrow. I'm still inviting people. I still have people. I have one girl that says, I can't buy my challenge pack until the 14th, which is day one of our challenge. And I said, you know what, that's fine. She's actually buying the 21-day fix. And this challenge is going to be a 30-day challenge. What I'm doing is going to be a 30-day challenge because Core de Force just released. It's a 30-day program. I want people to be able to do a full 30 days with it because I'm currently doing a full 30 days. It's an awesome program. So I told her it wasn't a big deal. She can just jump in as soon as she gets the program. And I always say that every group, I add people in, even if we're all the way through week one. There's a document, a prep week document that I can send to you as a coach, and you can send it to your challenger to kind of get them up to date, and then they can jump right into a group. There's no reason anybody should ever have to wait until December to join if they're ready to join now. And I always still continue to invite people, and I just explain to them that the group has already got going. I'm going to get you up to speed. Don't worry. You know, you can jump in this group. I'm also going to add you to the December group too. So that's normally what I do. And Savannah, you know, you just joined us as a coach this week, and you jumped into our group. We're in week 3. We're wrapping up. And I know you were currently in a challenge before. You were kind of wrapping up anyways. But I'll do the same thing with you is we'll move into the next group, which is starting a prep week tomorrow. And I think I added you to it already, didn't I, the 30-day challenge? Okay, good, because you haven't experienced a prep week with us yet. So I thought that would be good for you to be able to see. Okay, so day 5, we talked about posting call outs and what not to post. So we don't want to post any kind of stock images. I was so guilty of doing that at first because I didn't know what the heck I was doing. So I was posting images of autumn Calvaries and the containers and anything I found from Google. I wasn't creating my own images, and people weren't connecting with me because of that. So I learned to create my own images, tell my own story, talk about my own progress, share my own journey, share my own transformation, not somebody else's transformation, unless it was a challenger of mine or a coach on the team, somebody I knew. But I was learning how to really share myself instead of share these generic stock images. So we kind of talked about that on day 5. Day 6, what to post. We talked about scroll stopping pictures and trying to post 3 times a day. So I always say, you know, you want to post something personal, something that you would have posted before you're a coach. For me, I post about my kids. Post something health and fitness related. So that could be a recipe. That could be something you found at the grocery store that was healthy or whatever, a snack ideal, some kind of tip of the day, a workout move, anything that's health and fitness related, okay? And then also a Beachbody post. And so to me, a Beachbody post is going to be something about talking about your challenge group, talking about your fitness program you're doing, talking about the portion control eating that you're doing, talking about why you became a coach, if you're doing coaching for accountability or to be a role model. So those are all kind of what I consider Beachbody related posts. If you are not somebody that posts very often, but I was just ready to dive right into coaching, so I went ahead and I started to at least try and do 3 posts a day. And if you're kind of hesitant to really jump right into that, I always say, well, give it a week, do 1 post a day. And then when week 2 comes, do 2 posts a day. And then when week 3 comes, then try and get your 3 posts in a day. So kind of ease yourself into it. Do you guys have any questions about posting? Does that all make sense? Okay. So, you don't want your page to be like you don't want to kill it with Beachbody. You want to give people value. And so you're going to give people value through your health and fitness post, even giving people value by talking about your programs, and giving them motivation. People are often very motivated by hearing your struggles, or, you know, what your goals are, what you're trying to accomplish. And then building trust with people, that's going to happen by also telling your personal story, allowing people to get to know you. Okay. Okay, so day 7 is today. We talked about the time of day of the post. And I think that's all we talked about today, right? I think we talked about posting 3 times a day today too. Do you guys have any questions so far?
No, it's good so far.
Straightforward.
Okay.
Yep.
Y'all are so easy. Look at you. Okay. Oh, today we talked about, I'm looking back at the group. We also talked about, posting 3 times a day. We talked about breadcrumbing. Does it make sense when I say breadcrumbing? Kind of breadcrumbing a little bit of what you do. So people kind of get an idea, just like you wouldn't want to do your new coach announcement and then post something like a week later. You want to kind of post a little bit here and there and kind of breadcrumb what you're doing. I know what personally helped me when I first started coaching was following other people, following other coaches. So I always tell coaches, the coaches on our team that you often see on the leaderboards are usually always a good idea to follow some of those coaches. And not necessarily to copy their posts, but just to give you ideals of what you could post too. And so I often, if I see a good post I come across in my newsfeed from one of the coaches on my team, I've been trying to share it. So occasionally I'll share a post that I think is something that's really good that anybody could go and kind of recreate and make it their own, just to kind of give you guys ideals. But that's what helped me the most when I first started coaching. And when it comes to recipes, the Beachbody blog has a ton of recipes. Pinterest, our Crock-Pot challenge group that we just did, and Savannah, I don't think you got to participate in the Crock-Pot group, but because it started on October 31st. But the Crock-Pot challenge group, I had added some new recipes, and I got those from Pinterest. Pinterest has a ton of great recipes that will go with portion control that are healthy. And so what I will do is I will grab a recipe, and Kristen and I have talked about this before because she's like, well, I kind of cook boring. So I always say, like maybe once a week or once every couple of weeks, going and finding a new recipe and making it. And if it's a hit with your family, take your own pictures and copy and paste that recipe, and see if you can figure out what the portions are if they don't already have the portions listed. A lot of times Pinterest will already have the portions listed for you, and just kind of make it your own. There is no copyright on recipes, so recipes can be shared among everybody. But what I always say is, like, try it out yourself first. Take your own picture from your own kitchen with your own plate, and use that image, and then and share that on social media if it was a hit for you. And I often say another good way to get conversation flowing is to go ahead and take a picture and then talk about how good it was, or how your kids may have liked it, or your spouse, or whatsoever, and say, if anybody wants to know the recipe, comment below. And then if they comment below, you can personally message them the recipe and ask them, hey, are you also into clean eating? If so, have you had any struggles with trying to find recipes? Just kind of trying to start that conversation with somebody. But I often also, anymore these days, since I have so many people that follow me that have already done my challenge groups, I go ahead and post the recipe. Otherwise, I would have a lot of old challengers just wanting me to personally message them, which would take a while. So as a new coach, I think it's great to go ahead and kind of give them a sneak peek of what the food was, and then ask them if they want to know what the recipe is. And then that way you can personally message them and kind of start a conversation from there. one other thing I was going to add, there is a tip of the day, and I can't remember if I post it into this training or into phase 2 training, but anytime somebody comments or likes on a health and fitness post, especially your new coach announcement, what I suggest is personally messaging anybody who likes or comments on it. And your message would just be thanking them for their support. And I have a little script of something that I've kind of written up that you can also add in an invite at the end. But really, it's just trying to be humble because it does mean a lot. You know, if somebody's going to like or comment on your stuff and you're nervous of putting it out there, it does mean a lot to you. And so I think it's important to be humble and share that with people and let them know that, you know, just by them hitting that like button, which probably only took them, a tenth of a second, really meant a lot to you. And it's a really great way of, again, getting conversations going with people one-on-one through personal message. So I will post that tip of the day. It's actually in our team page, but I'll post it into our training group. So you guys can use that as people start to like and comment on your stuff, and that way you can start creating more one-on-one interactions through message. Okay, that's all I got for you. Do you guys got any questions?
I think I'm all set.
Do what? You're all set?
Yeah.
All right. Savannah, what about you?
I'm good. I've actually had a few people I haven't really talked to face-to-face for a few years actually have been messaging me the past couple of days asking me, you know, about health and fitness and clean eating. So I've actually got the ball rolling with a couple of people right now.
That's awesome. Cool. Yeah, it's really neat to see. That's what I love the most about this is connecting with people that you haven't talked to in forever. And then eventually it gets to connecting with total strangers, as you know, we have too. And Kristen and I actually met in a special interest group. She is a hygienist. I'm a hygienist. We were in a dental hygiene group, and we met through there. And she's been a coach with me for a year, and she's my BFF now. So it's just kind of neat. And Kristen lives in Vermont. I live in Indiana. We live 20 hours away from each other. And, you know, everybody that's kind of went to our coach summit this past summer have became really close, and we all live in different locations. So it's really neat because it brings you back together with old friends, but it even brings you together with people you would have never met unless you were doing this. So I really am thankful for coaching for that reason, for friendship. That's awesome. I'm glad people are reaching out to you already. That's great. All right, guys. Well, unless you all have anything else for me, and if you can think of a question later after we get off here, just send me a message or post in our group, or Bree, you know, message Kristen. But otherwise, you guys can have a good night. All right.
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Night, night.
Bye.